Her friends in the market began to mock her. "Zoba, is this your husband, not even a real farmer? Look at your hands, full of blisters." She would laugh weakly and say, "God will change our story," but deep down she doubted. Then came the rainy season. Food was scarce and Emeka fell sick. He refused to go to the herbalist, saying he would be fine. Zoba did everything. She worked in people's farms to buy herbs and food. She stayed awake at night pressing warm cloth on his forehead. One night, when the rain was falling hard, she sat beside him crying softly. "Emeka, I didn't choose this marriage, but I don't want to lose you. Please fight for your life." Emeka looked at her, weak but smiling. "You have a good heart, Zoba. The world doesn't see it yet, but I do." After some days he got better, but their troubles didn't end. Soon, a woman from the city came to the village, tall, beautiful, and proud. She arrived in a car, the first car many had seen in months. The villagers gathered to look. She asked for Emeka, and when she saw him, she smiled in a way that made Zoba's heart burn. "Emeka," she said softly, "you just left without saying goodbye. So this is where you've been hiding." Zoba's chest tightened. "You know her?" she asked later that night. Emeka said nothing. He only whispered, "She belongs to a life I left behind." But Zoba could not sleep that night. Her mind kept running in circles. Why would a rich, beautiful woman come looking for a poor man like her husband? Days later, gossip spread around Aquir like fire. People said Emeka once worked for a big man in the city. Some said he stole money and ran away. Others said he was the son of a rich family who disowned him. Zoba didn't know what to believe. She confronted him again, crying, "Tell me the truth, Emeka. Who are you really?" Emeka looked away. "You will know when the time is right." That made her angry. "No, I am your wife. I suffer with you. I work with you. Yet you hide from me." Emeka stood up and walked out without saying a word. That night, Zoba packed her small bag. Her heart was broken. She walked out of the house under the moonlight, crying as she went. She didn't know where to go. Her father would mock her for returning. The villagers would laugh. Still, she walked on. But halfway down the path, it began to rain again. Heavy rain that soaked her clothes and blurred her eyes. She slipped and fell into the mud, crying harder. Then, suddenly, headlights appeared in the distance. Car stopped beside her. When she looked up, she saw the same woman from the city, the one who had visited Emeka. "Zoba?" the woman said, surprised. "What are you doing here?" Zoba wiped her tears but said nothing. The woman opened the car door. "Get in. I'll take you somewhere safe." Zoba hesitated, but she was cold and weak. She entered. The car smelled like perfume and money. As they drove, Zoba said quietly, "Why are you helping me?" The woman smiled faintly. "Because Emeka asked me to." Zoba turned sharply. "What? He asked you?" "Yes," the woman said. "You don't know who he is, do you?" Zoba's heart beat fast. "Please tell me." But the woman only said, "You'll see soon enough." They reached a big house outside the village. Shining lights, marble floors, guards at the gate. Zoba's mouth opened in shock. "Whose house is this?" she whispered. The woman smiled. "It belongs to your husband." Zoba's eyes widened. "What do you mean? My husband, Emeka?" Before the woman could answer, the big door opened. Emeka walked out, clean-shaven, dressed in white, with confidence she had never seen before. Zoba froze. She didn't know if she should run or cry. "Welcome home," Emeka said softly. Zoba stood at the gate, her legs weak, eyes wide open. The man before her looked like Emeka, but he didn't seem like the husband she once knew. His clothes were neat, his shoes shiny, and his voice calm yet powerful. "Emeka?" she whispered, afraid her eyes might be lying. He smiled softly. "Yes, Zoba, it's still me." Zoba shook her head, confused. "What is going on? What is this place?" Emeka stepped closer. "This is my real home. I kept it hidden from the world. And from you." Zoba felt anger rise again. "You hid your home? You made me suffer in that small hut while you lived like this? Why would you do such a thing? He sighed deeply and looked down. Because I needed to find someone who would love me for who I am, not for what I have. Zoba's tears began to fall. Do you think I would not love you if I knew the truth? You made me look like a fool. I begged for food. I fetched water every day, while my husband was rich. Emeka stepped closer, his eyes wet. You're wrong, Zoba. You didn't look like a fool. You looked like a queen who never gave up. I saw how strong you were, how patient you were. I saw your heart. She turned away, covering her face. You don't understand how I suffered, Emeka. The shame, the hunger, the gossip. I know, he said quietly. I watched from far. I had men keeping an eye on you. I told them never to help you, even when it was hard for me to see you suffer. Because I needed to be sure that your love was real, not bought. Zoba was silent for a long time. Her heart battled between pain and disbelief. Finally, she whispered, So, who are you really? Emeka walked toward the garden. Come. She followed slowly. There, in the moonlight, stood a tall statue of an old man. That was my father, Emeka said. Chief Obianwu. He owned many lands and businesses before he died. But when I refused to marry the woman he chose for me, the same woman you saw that day in the village, he disowned me. He said I'd never touch a kobo of his wealth again. Zoba looked at him, her heart softening. So you left everything behind? She asked. Yes, he said. I left the city, came to the village to start again. I didn't want fake love, Zoba. I wanted a woman who would walk with me through fire, not because of my money, but because of my soul. And then I met you. Zoba blinked back tears. So all this time, you were testing me? Emeka nodded slowly. Not to hurt you, my wife, to protect my heart. Her tears fell freely now. She felt both hurt and honored. I wanted to leave you that night, she said softly. But when the rain came, I asked God why he gave me a life so full of pain. Now I see there was a reason. Emeka stepped closer and gently took her hand. I never stopped loving you, Zoba. Every time you smiled through your pain, I saw light in you. And I promised myself that when the right time came, I would show you the truth. He led her into the house. Every corner was shining, gold curtains, white floors, pictures on the wall. Zoba's eyes wandered like a child's. From today, Emeka said, this is your home too. You will never go hungry again. Zoba touched the wall gently, her heart pounding. But Emeka, she said softly, why didn't you just tell me after we married? Why make me think you were poor for so long? He smiled. Because sometimes, the best hearts are revealed in the hardest times. Just then, the same rich woman who brought Zoba there walked in, smiling gently. I see you've told her, she said. Zoba turned to her. Who are you to him? The woman laughed softly. Once upon a time, I was supposed to be his wife, but he refused. Now I am his business partner. He asked me to bring you here because he didn't trust anyone else. Zoba bowed her head, feeling small. I'm sorry for judging you earlier. The woman smiled. You have nothing to be sorry for. I see now why he chose you. For the first time, Zoba smiled. It was small, but it came from deep within her. Emeka said quietly, tomorrow we'll go back to a queer village together. Everyone will see who you truly are. The girl they mocked will now be honored. Zoba looked at him. No, Emeka. I don't want revenge. I just want peace. Let them think what they want. My joy is enough. He looked at her in awe. That's why you're my wife. He reached for her hand again. Come, Zoba. Let's start our new life. And for the first time she felt warm. Not because of the lights or the gold, but because her heart finally found rest. The next morning, the sun rose softly over the big mansion. Birds sang sweetly in the garden, as if they too had come to celebrate. Zoba woke up in a soft bed, her body still not believing what her eyes had seen. She turned and saw Emeka standing near the window, watching the sunrise. He smiled when he saw her. Good morning, my queen. Zoba sat up slowly. It still feels like a dream. Emeka chuckled. It's not a dream anymore. You've suffered enough. Now it's time to live. That day, they prepared to return to a queer village. Emika wore a simple white native cloth, not too grand, but elegant. Zoba dressed in a fine wrapper and blouse, nothing too flashy, yet she glowed like the morning sun. When their car entered the village, people stopped what they were doing. The market women froze. Children ran after the car shouting, "Zoba! Zoba has come back." Men came out from their huts, surprised to see the same couple who once rode a bicycle now driving a shining car. The car stopped near the square. Emika stepped out first, then went around to open the door for Zoba. Everyone gasped. She looked like royalty. "Is that not Zoba? The poor girl who married that strange farmer?" Someone whispered. "It is her," another said. "But how?" Zoba looked around, nervous but calm. Her heart pounded as she saw her father standing at the edge of the crowd, his face full of confusion. Emika took her hand and walked straight to him. "Papa," he said with respect, bowing slightly, "I have come to thank you for giving me your daughter." Her father blinked. "Emika, what is this? Where did you get this car? What kind of clothes are these?" Emika smiled. "I owe you an explanation, sir. I am not the poor man everyone thought I was. I am Emika Obienwu, son of Chief Obienwu of Umuaka. I left the city years ago to start over and find true love. And I found it here, in your daughter." The crowd gasped again. Women covered their mouths. The village head himself stepped forward. "Chief Obienwu's son? The one who left everything?" Emika nodded. "Yes, that one." Zoba's father stared in disbelief. His mouth opened, but no words came. Finally, tears rolled down his cheeks. "I wronged you both. I forced my daughter into a marriage she never wanted. I did it because I thought you were poor like us. But look at what I didn't know." Zoba held his hands gently. "Papa, don't cry. I forgive you. You wanted the best for me. You just didn't know what God planned." Her father hugged her tightly. "You have a big heart, my child." Then Emika turned to the villagers. "All of you who mocked my wife and laughed at her pain, remember this day. Riches can vanish, but good character never fades." Zoba stayed when she could have run. She chose kindness when life gave her nothing. The village square went silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. One of the women from the market, the same one who once mocked Zoba, came forward slowly. "Forgive us, Zoba. We spoke out of envy and pride." Zoba smiled kindly. "There is nothing to forgive. We all learn from life in different ways." Emika then raised his voice again. "From today, I will rebuild this village's school and market. Let every child here have a better chance than I did. That will be my gift to a queer." The people shouted with joy. "Thank you, Emika. Thank you, Zoba." Zoba stood beside him, her eyes full of tears. She remembered every night she had cried, every time she had begged God for a change. Now she realized the pain was not to destroy her, but to prepare her heart. Later that evening, as the sun sank low and the sky turned orange, Emika and Zoba sat under the big mango tree behind their old mud house. Emika looked at the hut and smiled. "Do you remember the first day you came here?" Zoba laughed softly. "How can I forget? I wanted to run away that day." He chuckled. "And now look at us." She leaned on his shoulder. "I don't love you because you're rich, Emika. I love you because even when you were poor, you made me feel seen." He kissed her forehead gently. "And I love you because even when I had everything, you showed me what truly matters. Love, patience, and peace." They sat there quietly, listening to the crickets and the soft rustle of leaves. From that day on, the people of Aquir told their story over and over again. The tale of the girl who was forced into marriage, suffered, stayed faithful, and later became queen of the same man everyone mocked. And every time someone told it, they would end with a smile, saying, "Sometimes, God hides a king in rags, just to test the heart of a queen." That's how the poor bride's story ended. What lesson did you learn from it? Comment below and like if you enjoyed the journey.